How are you, Chris?
All right, mate. What the hell have you got on behind you?
Well, since it's almost Christmas time, I thought I'd be in my grotto.
Well, you're missing your tash, and you.
Well, my tash is gone now. Yeah, I mean after what Gary said and the rest of the boys, and I think it was you who called me Mr. Potato Head, wasn't it? If I'm right to say. Mr. Potato Head was one. Saddam Hussein was another one.
No, Mr. Potato Head suited you.
I think you might have called. Do you call me Mario as well?
Yeah, Luigi Mario, the brothers. Yeah.
my daughter called me that as well. So anyway, Chris, good to see you, mate. I was hoping to see you in person when I was down Gary's last week, but you obviously weren't there. You got other things going on, of course. Just in general, I mean, how was the lockdown been for you and your family and things in general?
But first of all, apologies I went there. Gary told me on the Monday that he was due up, but I had work commitments. And with me being self-employed, I'm having to miss quite a bit of the gym. This pandemic, I haven't really been good on anyone, especially sports people. So it's just like, just surviving. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah. Sorry, my daughter just phoned me there. She's been sent home from school today, so I wasn't planning on my daughter home with me today. But before we go into details with what's happening now, in your last fight, Liam Taylor. I mean, when was that? That's got to be over 12 months ago now.
Yeah, I think it was 12 months last week.
Right. And I mean, I did actually try and find the link for the fight online. I couldn't find one, so I just wanted to just to remind myself what exactly happened when I was trying to line up this interview with you. And what I can remember, there was a few clash of heads. I mean, you were put down early on, I think. I seem to remember.
Yeah, round one, it was quiet round, both of us getting a distance and things. And then second round then, I don't know why, but bent over really far over and hit me in the back of the head. And I took a knee. I wasn't hurt from the punch. It was just the force of it pushing me towards the floor. And then my head went in, and I just started opening a can of whoop ass on him. Just literally back to my old style. You know, it was good for the public and all that, but it weren't going to win me the round, even if I did. Do him over in that round. I still lost the round, whatever happened. Went back to the corner, third round then, come outside again into it nice. And the fourth round then, as soon as I started getting into it, he from nowhere, just head went down. I went to throw a jab and just ran in with the head like that, and no attempt of a punch, and he slipped me down 24 stitches.
Yeah, I mean, that was my one memory from the fight, was the fact it did seem like quite a fairly blatant headbutt, from what I can remember.
Well, what it was no, when you're going to throw a shot or you fight someone, you usually throw a jab or feint, slip, and then come in. It was just a blatant and straight in there. There was no attempt to throw a punch until I turned away. I'm not going to say it was intentional, but even though I was down on the cards, I was starting to come back into it. I think I started slow, and he realised I was starting to get my distance. So what better way to get me done over by cutting me with a head clash, because it's the story of my career, isn't it?
Yeah, but of course, I guess if it was premeditated from his point of view, it backfired because it ended up as a draw.
Yeah, they weren't the way I wanted it to be as well. And probably it does get you a little bit, but what I got to look at the positives. I've gone away. I've supposedly defended my both belts, and I've come home with a belt. So I'm sat here. Yes, I've been inactive for over 365 days, but I'm still British Commonwealth champion.
Yeah, just going back to a point you made earlier on about sort of getting caught and getting put down, and then losing your head, as we put it, or going back to the old CHRIS Jenkins style. I mean, that's I guess is what Gary Lockett has helped refine from you. If that's the right way of putting it.
Yeah, well, that's it. As soon as I went back to the corner, he spoke to me and come back out in the third round then, and I started executing the game plan I should have done all the way through, not switch off in that second round and do something stupid that I've never done before, or since I was back in probably my first couple of fights. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, your career, especially your last, half a dozen fights or so, has been plagued by cuts. I mean, is that something that's always on your mind when you go into a fight now? I know people can say you're a professional athlete and all the rest of it, but you're still human at the end of the day. Is that something that's always there, something you're always conscious of?
Not really conscious, no, because I don't expect to get headbutted or getting caught by the head. You know, I'm sparring endless rounds in the gym with the lads. I'm sparring with different fighters from different gyms. And I've taken a good shot on the eyes and they've never even split. So, you know, it's in the back of my mind, but we're professional, like we said. So I just remain professional. I just do what I need to do to win. If the shit hits the fan, as they say, my head does go in and it cuts me. And, you know, just got to remain focused. I got a top coach around there in Gary Lockett. And, you know, I got a good team around me as well. So, you know, I just got to get on with it.
And has your style adapted to, the fact you've got cuts? I mean, you're not as aggressive as you used to be. You're more of a boxer now than in the past. Have you consciously adapted your style to that?
I've always been a good boxer, but, you know, it took the loss of Nurse for the change to happen, i.e. change when I left my former coach, Ronnie Morris, to go up to Gary. And Gary didn't change me, he made me work on the things that I was good at. You know, I can fight inside, I got a decent body shot on me, but, you know, I got long levers, just use your boxing. Boxing's an art, and it's about hitting the opponent and knocking it yourself. You know, I showed that when I boxed Johnny Garton, that's my style of fighting. Just don't get caught with the heads, is all.
Yeah, and of course, you have got a pretty good left hook to the body, and you've got a good right hand as well, if needed.
Yeah, well, that's it. I work everything off the jab. You know, it was the same as the Dubois against Joyce last weekend. Gone. You know, the jab won the fight for him. And you know, it's the old saying. You know, right hand can get some knockouts, but jab can take all around the world. So, you know, execute the jab as much as you can, and then everything comes off that. So, like we said, the body shots and stuff. But I just got to keep my distance and box at range, mid to long range.
I mean, CONOR BENN boxed the other week. Was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? What did you think of the fight?
He looked good, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, there's no taking anything away from him. He looked sharp. He looked good, but the opponent was, I think it was handpicked. He was handpicked for him from his last fight. I think he boxed, what was his name? Porter, he boxed, Sean Porter.
Yeah, Sean Porter, yeah.
Yeah, and he went the 12 rounds distance with him. Yes, he was a tough lad, but it's like me and Johnny Garton was speaking the other day regarding it. That the lad that he boxed doesn't fight like me, doesn't fight like Johnny, so it would have been a totally different fight. But, you know, we've got to give Conor respect. He boxed well and he looked good as well. Yeah,
and your name was mentioned several times by the Sky boxing team, the Sky pundit. So that's clearly a fight that the guys at Sky would like to see. So is there still a possibility that the fight might happen in the near future?
If they can work everything out behind the scenes, you know, it's a lot of people who don't know the depths of getting fights out there. They just think it's one phone call, yes, we'll fight and it's on. But there's a lot of politics between managers, promoters, getting the right money, getting the right deal. You know, if they can get it done, I'll happily fight him. But after the fight, 1 minute he was talking my name, next thing he was talking about fighting Josh Kelly for the European. So I don't know where he thinks he is, whether he's British or beyond, or whether he's, I don't know. But I just know that I want to defend my belts, and if I don't fight, I don't earn no money.
Yeah. So taking CONOR BENN out of the picture, who would you like to fight next? Or I mean, what have you got lined up?
Oh, well, I am lined up. I'm mandated to fight Echo Esserman. I think he's IBF international champion, 14-0. Got a good record. Good boxer, former GB fighter. But, you know, I think that's going to go on mid to late February, I think, of 2021. So we're just waiting on news now of the exact dates. And hopefully I'll get some sponsors back on board then as well. So, because it's pandemic. But yeah, all I know, I'm fighting February of next year.
And that'll be a Frank Warren show, I presume, Queensbury Boxing.
It will, yeah, because Esserman signed with Frank, and I'm obviously signed with Frank as well. So it'll be on a card. Don't know where. Probably across the bridge.
Yeah.
But you know, I got no issue in travelling.
Yeah, you've been all over the country now, haven't you? Really, you've been boxing Ireland. Because I was in Ireland when you boxed there. What an amazing atmosphere that was.
It was something out of the ordinary. Like where I'm living now, behind me just fields. It's like I look out there and it gives me memories of boxing in some big, massive field in the middle of Belfast, and how hostile the crowd were going in the ring, and then how more hostile they were when I come out the ring, from swearing at me, spitting at me, throwing beer at me. But you know, I just was in the zone. I won the fight. Ozzy, who was out there with me for part of the team, he was just like going off on one. I said, "Oh, just ignore him and stuff." But you know, it was nice to have a win out there. Not the way we wanted it to end. And if he did win every round that they think he won, then surely after going to the scorecards, he would have won it. You know, it's Belfast. Not many fighters go out there to defend their belts against a Belfast fighter and come out with a win.
Yeah, I think on the night, you were actually, I think, the only non-Irish fighter then. I wasn't using the term away fighter because you were the champion, so you're not really the away fighter, but you were the only non-Irish fighter not to win on the night, I think, from what I can remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but it's like I said, you know, the people are crazy out there.
And one thing I wish I'd done, and I've regretted this ever since. If you remember, I actually walked back to the changing room with you and Gary. And
yeah.
I should have got my camera out on my mobile phone to film you walking down that narrow tunnel at the end, if you remember.
Yeah, that's what they
will shout at you.
Yeah, they're trying to swell me with beer and stuff, and like people, you know, shouting naughty words to me, and then it's like I was just in my own little dreamland, you know. I've been out, yeah, I've done what I've done. I wouldn't expect it to win, even though I'm the champion now. I still think I'm getting treated like shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's not me having a dig at anyone or any person, but even though I'm British and Commonwealth champion, I think there's a lot more boys out there, well known, gets a lot more coverage, and they may not even be holding no belts. It's because of where it's from, I don't know, but so it don't bother me really. But
is it just something you've grown accustomed with, I suppose, over your career?
Yeah, I'd say I'm used to it now. It's nice for when yourselves and people reach out and ask for one interview. That makes me feel as if I'm still wanted in this game. But it's not the end of the world. I do feel as that I don't have the respect I deserve.
Yeah.
In this game. I think when I'm retired, I think people might sit back and say, "Oh, he was all right, wasn't he?" You know what I mean? He got cut a lot, but we can see. But it is what it is. I know I don't lose no sleep. My kids are healthy, and that's all it's about.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, of course, your family, the most important thing. 3 boys, Chris, am I right in saying?
Yeah, three boys, 8-year-old twins and 2-year-old little one, and the 2-year-old's worse than the 2 of the other ones put together.
So they'll be getting very excited now for Christmas.
Yeah, they are. They're too excited, and as Christmas is coming, we don't fight, we don't learn. So just want to say a massive shout out to Mo Pryor for helping me out for Christmas, my manager, and also Gary as well. And, just give me a little hand. But it'll be repaid now when I fight back in February now when I'm going to win the belt again. And we move on to hopefully one more after that and I win the belt outright.
One thing that always surprises me, and I guess because I've sort of been involved in boxing quite a while now, I probably started doing interviews and stuff around the time when you first turned pro, so it was about 10 years now, I guess.
Yeah, it would have been when I was bald and I had a bald head back then, like yours.
And the back in the shows in the was it the Oceana nightclub, was it Ritzy's?
Yeah. Oceana.
Yeah. So something that really surprises me now is the misconception a lot of fans have about how much money boxers earn. Because I know your fight with Garton, I think someone told me roughly how much you got paid for that fight. I won't tell people, it's none of their business. But a lot of people thought you were getting paid absolute fortunes for that fight, whereas in reality you're not. And I know today now, I mean, people think you're a British champion, Commonwealth champion. But today you've been working.
Yeah, but I'm self-employed, so, there's a few, even these boys coming through now, they get sponsors of, £600 a month, £1,000 a month forever, and then you got the other boys there probably on like $2-3 grand a month, just sponsors that is, so they're entitled to train full time. And then you got myself, I've got one on board, Sammy, SP Motor Recoveries, he's a local guy, he's on board, he sponsors me. But, people think because we're on telly, we get paid thousands and thousands of pounds. But then what they don't have to take in board, say a fight purse is 20 grand, my next fight. Out of that, you've got to pay your taxes to the board. Then you've got to pay your coach 10%. Then you've got to pay your manager 25%. Then you've got to take your camp expenses out. So roughly every camp, you're spending anything from £2,000 to £4,000. That's your nutrition, your travel, your food, any equipment you need, stuff like that. But then you take that out of your actual purse, you're losing 60% of your actual, the gross. So 60% of 20 grand is gone.
Yeah. So I suppose this would be a good point, Chris, I think, to say that if there is anyone watching this interview that would like to sponsor you for your next fight, get in contact with you on Facebook, Instagram.
Thing is that a lot of people don't understand as well. When it comes to sponsorship, it's tax deductible.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of companies out there that do know about it, but there's a lot that doesn't.
If someone was to see this interview and think, right, okay, we'll get behind CHRIS Jenkins, British Commonwealth champion, what will they get for the sponsorship?
But basically, they get, if they're on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the above. Anything problem, we'll be sharing things, keeping their name out there. They'll have logos of, let's say, this is a logo now. You'll have a big logo like that on T-shirts. In training, you'll have names dropped in interviews and things like that. And during the fight, then fight week's probably the best week because you're in your kit all week. So there's IFL TV, there's all different media platforms, even yourself, and you just get them out there. And then during the fight, there could be 10, 15, 20,000 people watching the card. Yeah. And then one of the man's have got your logo, your company logo on. You've got me in the fight with the actual fight shorts that they're on. So, you're tracking their name out there, and if you can get 1 or 2 follow-ups from it, for a couple of £100, maybe £1,000, they could have a job, anything, wherever they do.
Yeah, and of course, as you said at the start there, it's tax deductible. So as long as the company's making a profit, the sponsorship won't actually cost them anything.
It won't affect anything if anything, you'll get the money back. So that's the good thing about it.
Yeah. Another thing, I asked quite a few boxers. I asked Gary Lockett last week when I saw him. I asked a few other guys. What was your thoughts on the Dubois Joe Joyce ending?
I was exactly like, I think about 90% of the British public boxing. Dubois is going to do him in 6. If it goes past 6, I think Joyce nicks it at the end. But I thought that Dubois would have nicked at the end. But where you coming at now from the quitting side?
Yeah, I mean, just the cut. I mean, there's been a controversy. I mean, Matt Christie in Boxing News last week put a good article in the editorial part about whether he quit or not. He didn't quit. Just as a fighter, you know, where do you stand on it? How do you see it?
How old is Daniel Dubois? 23?
Yeah, 23. And I think Joyce is in his mid-30s now, I think.
Yeah, he's 23. So was he looking at the way out? You don't know. Have you ever experienced an injury like he's had, like an optical break or something, or nerve damage, and then having a guy, how heavy was Joyce? About 16, 17, 18 stone?
Yeah, but I say, 17, just under 18, I think he was.
And he's peppering that all the time. You know, maybe he did, but if you look at it, he's probably saved his career. He could have gone blind, from what I've read on certain things, or what could have happened with his eyes. So it's different with me because I get cut. So the initial pain is but then you just get on with it. But with that, I can't imagine what pain he was going through. I wouldn't say he quit. I just think he weighed everything up and thought, you know what, I'll take a knee, I'll get this sorted, and I'll come back. Yes, every time he fights now, people are going to go, the quitter. But you get a pair of balls, you get in a ring, and then he calls somebody a quitter.
Does it annoy you as a fighter? Sometimes some of the things the fans say, I mean, I'm guessing they probably don't mean it in a personal way, but people do take it personally sometimes when fans say insulting things.
Oh, mate, I've had it. I think I'm the most popular British champion out there. If I'm a fight, you know, people, it's not too bad when they start on you, but then when they start bringing family members in, like kids and wives and stuff, I think, you know, just get away from your keyboard, go and have a look, and have a stand in front of that mirror and have a good look at yourself. You know, we're doing what we can do in life to provide for our family, and you know, there's too many people willing to put their 5 pence in, but you know, the time we're going through this pandemic, you know, mental health has gone through the roof. I've lost a mate. I've lost 2 friends to it, so it's deep. So you know, just sit back and think.
Yeah, I know one very high-profile boxer who actually, people don't realise this, but he's still got his Twitter account and someone runs it for him, but he's actually off Twitter now because of the abuse he was getting. And people don't realise this. He's a well-known, world-famous boxer, but he doesn't run his own Twitter because of the abuse people are saying against him. He took it to heart so much, he just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, well, I got thick skin, you know. I'm gutted I went up with Germany Wednesday because see how nuts I really am, you know. And I think you're lucky you weren't there. I weren't there, to be honest, because I'm a loony. But you know, it's not just fighters in general. It's just day to day, everyone in life. You know, it doesn't cost to be nice, does it? It doesn't cost you anything to respect people, and you can have an opinion. Granted, everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah. And you just on a lighter note, you just saying there about you being nutty and loopy. I remember the time when you won the prize fighter when how much do you have for the stoppage? Was it $2,000 in cash they gave you?
Yeah, they gave me $2,000.
Hotel lobby throwing the money around.
I didn't even have how much given to me. We leave that there, but I just basically, yeah, we had me, my Betty Boo, my wife's bloody onesie.
Right. Yeah. You disappeared for a bit and then you reappeared with your wife's onesie on.
I went upstairs to get changed and I had no clothes. I said, give me your Betty Boo onesie. So Yeah, I nicked a Wednesday off her, and yeah, we had a good night. You know, that was a breakthrough night. But then, if you look from then to where we are now, there's been a few ups, but there's been a good few downs.
Yeah, I think people were surprised, myself included, after that win. You had the fights with Tyrone Lewis. Of course, it didn't go your way. I think it was the first one was a draw, and you lost the second one. But even so, I think people were surprised that you were in the wilderness for quite a few years after that.
Yeah, I was in the Who Needs Me club from taking fights at 2 weeks' notice, at a week's notice, to basically falling out of love with the sport. So, but then I changed gyms. Obviously, I changed gyms after the nurse fight, and then it was in the Who Needs Me club, and we taking fights. Gary was, because he knows I want to fight, and getting cut, and then I think it was 6 to 8 months before I went for the British title, give or take. I said I'm going finishing. I've had enough. Can't do no more. I had things going on outside with my mate who killed him, who took his own life, and just general day-to-day things we get on top. But then, you know, we rode the wave. I had good team, Gary sticking by me. Mo obviously came on board, my manager, and you know, things have done a U-turn and for the better.
I mean, how difficult was it, the decision for you to make to leave Ronnie Morris? I know you were with Ronnie from your first amateur fight, from right in saying.
It was difficult, but you know, it's when my management team and my coaching team ain't getting along as good. When they're not putting their fight there first, you know, rather than trying to get one over on each other, you know, I got a lot of respect for Ronnie. I got a lot of love for him. I'm grateful for everything he done for me, but it came to a time where it's in every way of your life. I needed that change.
Yeah.
I need, you know, it's same as in, you know, you're these footballers, oh, he's gone to a different club. Yeah, but he needs that change to bring him on better. Like, oh, he's gone for a different job. Yeah, because he's going to make him better. So, you know, I had to be a bit selfish there, but in the long run, it's worked out right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough decision for any boxer to make, but in your case, certainly, you've gone on leaps and bounds, I think.
Yeah, like my last gym is literally 5 miles up the road. Cardiff is like 55 miles one way. The sacrifices I've put in. But I'm lucky. I got Danny Munn as well from Valco Scaffolding. He helps out with fuel. So, you know, I got a good team around me, and I just got good people around me, you know.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, I appreciate your time this afternoon. You mentioned you got a business there. I mean, do you want to just give your business a shout out? I mean, I guess a lot of people from your area might be watching.
No, not yet. I want to give this boxing a big, you know, give this boxing a good 12 months, you know. But when I do finish, you know, touch wood, nothing happens yet. Wood, touch wood that, you know, keeps on going for good for another 12 to 18 months when it's spelled out right. Get something big, hopefully, and, you know, maybe sail off in the sunset, you know. But I keep on saying, you know, have you noticed that? Disgusting. No, basically, I work as a commercial cleaner, but I'm leaning more now towards the painting and decorating side of it. So, who knows? Maybe after boxing, there might be an ex-boxer by the name of Vincent Van Jenks, painters and decorators.
But if people in your local area want painting done, can they just get a hold of you, contact you online?
Yeah, contact me, but I got to make sure I make time for the wife and kids and Christmas and stuff. So.
And I believe I'm right in saying when we finish this interview now, we've got to fix the washing machine. Is that correct?
Tumble dryer.
Oh, tumble dryer. Okay.
One thing after another. Let me tell you. Busy man, you.
Busy man. Okay, Chris. Like I said, thanks for your time. Enjoy your Christmas. Give my regards to your wife Helen, and hopefully I'll meet you in person sometime in the near future, mate.
Well, I'll make sure I'm there next time, all right?
Okay, brilliant. Cheers, Chris. Thanks for your time, mate.